بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Knowing the truth, seeing the truth and still believe in the lies. Everything has been stipulated in Quran is clear, Hadith is clear, the words of my Nabi is clear. We have issues. The problem is with me. Does my dunya affect my deen, or does my deen affect dunya? When dunya is unstable, is that a cause for my deen to be unstable? That's why it is said, sometimes our thoughts are backed by so much insecurity that they create lies we believe. Sometimes a person temporarily solves his problems by going into denial. He's not ready to accept what I'm doing is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. I know, it is clear, it is the command of Allah and I'm breaching the command of Allah. It is clear, but a person is not ready to accept the truth. He lives in a denial, he lives in a false world. Can I see through this deception? Denying the truth doesn't change the facts. Denying the truth doesn't change the facts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks this insan, Ya ayyuhal insan, ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. Ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. What has made you careless about your Allah? And if you know who this Allah is, الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك. Your very existence is through the permission, through the command of this being. Yet you contravene. Allama Ibn Kathir under this ayah has mentioned the tafsir. This is a threat from Allah. It's not an attempt to get a reply. As Allama is saying, people think it's not a question to get a reply. People, as if the most generous is asking them so that they will say his honor has been deceived or he's made him careless of his Allah. But what actually his meaning is, O insan, O son of Adam, what has deceived you from your Lord, the most generous, said that you have treaded a path of disobedience and you ready to meet Allah in a condition that is unbefitting. This is similar to the narration, يقول الله تعالى يوم القيامة يا ابن آدم ما غرك بي. O son of Adam, what has deceived you concerning me? Ya ibn Adam, ماذا أجبت المرسلين. O son of Adam, what was your response to the messengers? Anbiya came to you. The signs were in front of you. So this deception, we have Allah, we have His Rasul, we have Deen, but there's no time for that which is a priority, and I've got time for everything else. Deen is for my benefit. If I don't do Deen, consequences will fall on me. Allah has given me instructions, Batil has given instructions, Batil has planning, Batil has the ultimate plan, so that this insan will not go to paradise. He will not achieve the ultimate prize. Yet, what Batil has encouraged, do I submit, and what Allah has encouraged, do I deny? How much time is there for television? How much time for social media? How much time for uploading? How much time for statuses? How much time for comments? How much time watching bloggers? It's a fun on its own. It's occupation now. How much time, how much resources are we giving when we don't have? There's a shortage of time. Sports, gaming, the list goes on. A person will ask this question, is my Allah happy with me? When he has the love of Allah, by default. And when there isn't, he'll carry on his life, day in, day out, on the same routine, the same trajectory. Mujaddid Millat Hazrat Maulana Thanwi rahmatullah used to say, when Allah's wrath and anger is on someone, then this person does not regret his sins. This person does not regret his sins. Thus not regretting is the sign of the adhab, it is a sign of the anger of Allah on this person. Like Iblis, who never complied and never made sajda, he never had regrets. So commentators explain, مَا خَدَعَكَ وَسَوَّلَ لَكَ. What has blinded you? كَيْفَ اجْتَرَأْتَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ فَضَعْتَ مَا وَجَبَ عَلَيْكَ. How can you be bold to break Allah's command and you have failed in your responsibility? وَارْتَكَبْتَ مَا حَرَّمَ عَلَيْكَ. What is forbidden you have opted for. If a person had the value of Deen, there was no need for targheeb, there was no need, because a value in a certain item is created when time is given for it, when wealth is spent on it. We've not given our time for Allah, we've not given our wealth for Allah, or we've given our leftovers, leftover time for Allah, leftover wealth for Allah. Everything else, climax, prime. When it came to screens, we bought the highest resolutions. When it came to cameras, we bought the best. Everything in dunya, we put our money. And for Deen, there's zakat. I have to give my zakat. Bain al-ghurur wal-jahl, between the deception and ignorance. A person is ignorant bihaqiqatin nafs. What's the reality of this nafs and how it will want to take you to the fire. Wal jahl bihaqiqatil hayat. And the reality of this life, it will terminate. Being jahil of that. Wal jahl bi sifati Rabb Jalla wa Ala. Being jahil of the sifat of Allah. A kamil being. Akmal. There is no description for the greatness of Allah. Our mind is limited to describe the greatness, the grandeur and the supremacy of Allah Rabbul Alameen. So Abdullah bin Mubarak was asked a question, and mafhum al-ujb, what is the self-conceit? A person has pride, he's got ostentation, show. That's what life is about, showing. The flamboyant lifestyle. أن ترى أن عندك شيئا ليس عند غيرك. You think so, you got something which others don't have. That's the beginning. I'm worthy of something. I'm valuable. My effort is valuable. My intellect is valuable. My resource is valuable. My portfolio, my profile, my status, climbed the ladder so fast. Bishr Bin Harith, you say, العجب أن تستكثر عملك وتستقل عمل الناس أو عمل غيرك. What's this ostentation? It's amplifying and intensifying your actions and considering others insignificant. So you've upgraded yourself and downgraded everybody else. Imam Ghazali has mentioned what are the types of ghurur, the deception, ghururul kuffar, the deception of the kuffar, the life of this world, the deception of this world, and whoever has been deceived by this world, they say an-naqd khayrun min an-nasiya, that cash is better than credit delay. What does it mean? Ad-dunya naqd wal-akhirah nasiya. Dunya is cash, you want to enjoy it, you get it now. Akhirat, reward is afterwards. So they used to say that dunya is better, rather preference to that. Al-yaqeen khayru min ash-shak. They say, you know what we sure about? You got money, you spend it, you enjoy it. We're sure about it. You say you're getting reward, and the rewards only after you die. Fala natruk. We can't leave yaqeen for doubt. And the solution for that is iman, effort on iman. So even a person is a believer, a mu'min, but his iman is weak, his priorities will be like a disbeliever. Ma indakum yanfad wa ma indallahi baq. What you have will come to an end, what Allah has will remain perpetually. It will not terminate, it will not come to an end. These banks won't go bankrupt, the banks of Akhirat. Can't be looted, can't be robbed, can't be given a flowery name, can't be given flowery alibis to show why your money was lost. Am I empowering myself in what Allah has accepted me for, to see how the Deen can come alive in the Ummat? A person is given a post, a position, for example. Does he use it for the betterment of people? He's a ruler, he's a governor, he's whatever status. Politically, he's got a status. Empower your own pockets or empower others. One day a Khalifa informed his ministers he wished to tour the city, so he wanted to know the condition of the citizens, the needy. He arrived in the first city, he wanted the names of the poor. When he went through the list, the governor of the city's name was there. He was surprised. They summoned him now, brought the governor. Your name is in the list of the poor. He said, I give my salary to the poor. I stay hungry so they cannot be hungry. So they are satiated, I remain hungry. So the king was impressed. So he told, he gave instructions that double his monthly salary, and you can give more charity to the poor. Where would we see that in today's zamana? We are the best of ummats, got the examples of the previous nations, but are we fooled like them, or we take lesson from them? Quran mentions their qisas, incidents for us to take lesson. As a king, he visited a wheat mill that belonged to an old miller. He saw the donkey that turned the grindstone to grind and wheat. He noticed the miller put a string of bells around the donkey's neck. So the donkey was moving, the bells were ringing. The king asked him, Miller, why did you attach a string of bells around the donkey's neck? Limada? Why? So he said, Sometimes it so happens I feel tired, I close my eyes, and if the bell stops making a noise, I know وَإِذَا وَقَفَ الْحِمَارِ, then I know that the donkey has stopped fulfilling its tasks. عرفت أن الحمار قد توقف. So then the king asked him, فسأل الملك وإذا وقف الحمار وأخذ يحرك رأسه هنا وهناك. So if the donkey decides, it stops, it tosses his head, so it relaxes, takes it easy, it's not doing work, and it just shakes its head, and then there's no sound, then what will you do? So if it's moving, it's making a noise. Now it's stopped, but it's still making a noise. Means the king is asking him, if the donkey bypasses the system, what will happen? So the Mullah smiled and he said, وَيَتَبَسَّمْ وَمِنْ أَيْنَ لِلْحِمَارِ أَقْلَ الْمَلِكِ وَمِنْ أَيْنَ لِلْحِمَارِ أَقْلُ الْمَلِكِ. How is it possible for the donkey to have the mind of a king? Would you ever get a donkey that will have the mind of a king? So we're the best of ummats, we're the king of ummats. But where's our potential? Where's our istidad? In the second, Imam Ghazali has mentioned that the deception of the disobedient people. It's in Allah Kareem. وَإِنَّا نَرْجُو عَفْوَهُ. Allah will forgive us, don't worry. He's Kareem, He's generous. And they continue in sin until death comes them. So we have to see through this deception. We have to identify this deception, not get caught in all these deceptions. So the world we live in is the people on top are eating at the expense of the people at the bottom. So these new world order globalists or their agendas are not worried at the bottom line. The ecosystem has to crash, fuel prices may rocket, if food reserves become depleted, if rioting and looting becomes the order of the day, they've got their securities, they've got their planning. So at any expense, let's say the United States, US was competing against Japan in a boat race, and the Japanese team won by a mile, so Americans said it's not going to happen again. It was a national humiliation. So they hired a firm of consultants to find the reason for defeat and recommend corrective measures, corrective action. So the consultants studied and they said, oh, you know, the Japanese crew, they've got 7 people rowing, 1 person who's steering. You've got 1 rowing, 7 steering. So after 1 year of studies, millions of dollars spent, a lot of analysts, then they concluded that the US team has too many people who are steering and not enough who are rowing. So they have the race approach, and the US team's management structure was reorganized. They had 4 steering managers, 3 area steering managers, and a performance review system for the person rowing the boat to provide work incentive. This time the Japanese team won by 2 miles. US corporate management laid off the rower for poor performance. They laid off the person who's doing all the work, the person who's struggling. They laid him off for poor performance, and they gave the managers a bonus for discovering where the problem lay. That's the issue. These multinational, these corporates, these government entities extort humanity. People on top eat more and more and more. The ordinary laborers, workers, civilians suffer. They'll push up prices. They'll abuse the system. They will make sure that they will eat well, even though everybody else is suffering. So a person firstly must admit he's at fault. Don't make an excuse. Don't find a way to justify it. No matter how deep you are in a hole, admit it. I fell in a hole. I made a mistake. A person who was working for a company, he was just hired recently, so they call him to the manager's office So the manager asked him, you applied for the job, you said you had a degree in English language from Cambridge, 5 years of experience in this field, etc., etc. And now we've discovered that you have no qualifications. And this is your first job ever in this field. What do you have to say about yourself? So he said part of your ad was that you wanted somebody with imagination. So I went to town in my resume. No matter how bad it is, we'll justify it. So Quran and Hadith is our yardstick. Spending time with ulama haq, ulama rabbaniyeen, people that will take us close to Allah. People whose worry and concern is akhirat. And when we bypass this, everything goes bypass. Somebody used to go every morning to work in a ferry. One day his watch stopped, so he was running late. He rushed to the docks, saw the boat. It was just 10 feet away. So he took a run up, jumped, and just missed the boat and fell in the water. Swam to the boat. As he climbed onto the boat, captain looked at him quite shocked and amazed at what this person is doing. So he said, if you just waited another minute, we would have docked. He didn't realize the boat wasn't leaving him, it was coming to fetch him. So sometimes we don't have the right information, Quran and Hadith, and a person falls in the water. Sometimes a person may never come out of it. So this connection with the Ahl al-Ilm, with the ulama, with the sulaha, people that engage in finding Allah. So this is haqq, this is the truth, and a person to be saved from this deception. So even outwardly sometimes a person thinks he's doing the right thing, but it's a wrong thing. Outwardly it seems correct, inwardly it's opposite, controversial. Somebody went for a job interview, so the office manager asked the applicant, do you have any unusual talents? The applicant said, no, I've won several prizes in crossword puzzles, I've got a slogan writing award, etc. So the manager said, wow, brilliant, but we need somebody who has some trait that's connected to during office hours, to be smart during office hours. So the applicant said, no, don't worry. All those prizes, awards and competitions I won, it was during office hours. May Allah give us tawfiq understanding and the reality of the shortness of this life and preparing for akhirah. The amal for today is khayru sufufu rijal awwaluha wa sharruha akhiruha. The best saf for men is the first saf, and the worst of sufuf is the last saf. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.